Do you wish you could sit at the piano and start playing without practicing ahead of time, without needing pre-written sheet music? Kind of like this. I just made that up. I didn't even prepare that. You probably think, dang, I wish I had a good enough ear to do that. Emphasis on ear. But let me tell you something. You already have a good ear. If you're a classically trained pianist, your ear is even better than average. Let me show you what I mean by that. Are you familiar with Auld Lang Syne? Should old acquaintance be forgot? I will show you how to figure out where the chords go on Auld Lang Syne. On the screen you see the melody written out in the key of F major, and you also see empty boxes where the chords will go. I only have three options: F major, B flat major, and C major. On each empty box I will just try one chord to begin with. If I like how it sounds, I write it down and I move on. If I don't like how it sounds, I try any of the other chords. Here we go. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, that does not sound good, so I cannot use F again. I'll have to try another one. Let's try B flat. Maybe, but let's also try C just in case. Oh yeah. So definitely I start with F, then I play C. Let's see on the third box, what am I going to use there? Starting over. Not C, F. And then B flat here. I attached below the full score of Auld Lang Syne, only the melody, okay, not the full left-hand accompaniment, with empty boxes over where the new chords should occur. You will figure out the rest of the chords to Auld Lang Syne on your own. You already have what it takes to play piano by ear. You may not be able to identify the right chords to start with, but if I gave you the three ingredients, you are able to piece the rest of the song together. Let's discuss what it means to play by ear. This term is so vague. It means nothing. Well, it means different things to different people, but don't fall under the impression that playing by ear means that the ear itself, like the eardrum, has a specific formation that allows you to perceive music differently. Heck, Beethoven was deaf, okay? And yet he still wrote the Ninth Symphony while he was dead. Deaf. So how can you explain the fact that he was able to write masterpieces that we still sing today, even though he couldn't physically perceive sound through his eardrums? Therefore, the ability to make music does not rely on your listening skills or your hearing skills. It relies on the way your brain interprets what the eardrums send in. The trick is in your brain. Once you know the trick, and once you know how to connect these dots that you've achieved in your classical training, the rest will be very easy. Let's throw this myth away. You don't need a good ear to play piano without written sheets. You need the right training in your brain. I've met many classically trained pianists who wished they could do that. The main problem that I noticed is that because everyone had a different definition of what it meant to play by ear, they didn't even know where to begin and how to sort their resources in order to address the specific problem they had. Some people thought that to play by ear means to be able to sit down at the piano and just improvise. Blah, 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 blah. Let's call that noodling around. Others think that playing by ear is listening to the song on the radio and then sitting at the piano and play it without buying the book. I call that translation mode. It's slightly different than just noodling around. Others say that playing by ear means to sit down and play music that generates in your head that will eventually be a well-crafted composition. I call that composition mode. It's slightly different from noodling around because the goal is to create something that will stand the test of time on its own. It's not just performed once and then forgotten. And others say that to them playing by ear means to be able to read chord charts, lead sheets, like playing on a worship team at church. Perhaps you've already invested in some resources out there teaching you how to play by ear because they've marketed themselves as such. But if you were unable to identify the actual definition that penetrated to you, then you probably got the resource for definition 1 instead of the resource for definition 4, and then you felt frustrated. You're like, this is not helping me. I want to play on the worship team. I don't need to just noodle around. These are made up terms, by the way. And because the industry hasn't yet created standardized terminology for all of these different needs that classically trained musicians have, it's become increasingly frustrating to find the right resource to address your concerns and your desires to grow as a musician. This challenge is especially present among church pianists. Many of them who are classically trained can play beautifully by following the hymnal or by practicing ahead of time the pre-written piano accompaniment or piano arrangement. But they struggle to play by following chord charts. And more churches these days are transitioning from the hymnal over to chord charts. And these pianists, they want to join the worship team, but they feel like they don't have the gift of playing by ear, when in fact what they lack is the right kind of training that works for the way a classically trained brain thinks. This is why I designed Piano Brains. By the end of the course, you will be able to read the chord charts, lead sheets, extract chords from existing music, whether it be hymns, classical, anything really. You will be able to generate different accompaniment patterns for the right hand, for the left hand, how to put them together. If you're a church pianist who can already read sheet music and wants to also understand chord charts, check out my online piano course in the description, Piano Brains. Get it? Because it's not about playing by ear, it's about how you perceive and generate information at a brain level. We've already established the fact that you have a good ear already. Piano Brains, retraining your classically trained brain to improvise confidently at the piano. Links in the description. Thanks for watching!